All right, journey with me, guys. Today we are changing a prop. No, not on that boat. We're changing it on my boat. So this is a prop, and I'll show you the prop. We've been having too much fun, right? So prop is completely damaged, and I need to go ahead and change it. So we got some stuff. We're gonna go change it right now. I'll set you guys up right here so you guys can get a good view on what we are doing, and I'll probably pull you around. So the first thing that we need is a ratchet, and we need a 1 and 1/16. So this is the size for the nut. I'm gonna need this to take the nut off. The second thing we need is just like a piece of block that will go up here, just so that when you are trying to take off the nut, you're not spinning indefinitely. Preferably wood, right? The third thing that you're gonna need is this. You're gonna need a Quicksilver flow torque hub assembly kit. So this one works for Mercury 150s, and I'll show you in a second what this is. But it's all of the pieces that are inside of here. Most people don't tell you that from their video. The next thing you're gonna need is a rubber mallet if you don't already have one. So I just got one from Lowe's. Definitely gonna need this. And the last thing that you need is the prop. So with a prop, you need to make sure that you're buying exactly the same type of prop. In this case, this is a 19 pitch. I just looked on the numbers that were on the original prop, and I googled the numbers that were on the original prop, and it came up with this. So it's exactly the same. Only difference is this one is Quicksilver, which Quicksilver is owned by Mercury. So it's the same prop. It's just a different brand, but it's the same pitch, it's the same diameter, so it's literally the same prop. So I'm about to go ahead. I was trying to use my old ratchet set, but again, the size that you need is the 1 and 1/16, which is this, to take off this nut. So yeah. This is really your step one, is to take off this nut. There is a locking pin, if you guys can see it. This locking pin holds the prop in place, and that's because if you put it in reverse, you don't want the prop to fall off. So that locking pin locks into this piece right here. So this piece right here is kind of already in the prop, so I could actually move this now. And the prop is supposed to come off. It's supposed to just come off. There you go. Yeah. So this is an old prop, but you'll notice, and again, this is why I'm making this video, is because you'll notice the difference between the old prop and the new prop is there's a bunch of stuff inside this. There's a bunch of stuff on the outside of this. Whereas this prop, how they sell it, there's nothing inside of this. There's nothing on the outside of this. It's just the prop. So that's where the torque kit comes into play. So this flow torque assembly hub, which I got from West Marine, and it costs $70 in 2025. This has everything that I need to put into the prop. So this rubber piece is this rubber piece in the back of this old prop. This is the sacrificial piece. So I'm sure this one is cracked because I've hit a bunch of stuff. Yeah. So again, $70. This goes in the back, which this is the back. This goes in the back of this right here. Let's make sure. Okay, so can only go in one of 4 ways. Nice. And so that is in. You need it to be flush, so I'm gonna hammer it in a second. I need to get this piece off. Might need the hammer for that. Okay, give me a second, because we gotta get this metal piece, gotta get this piece off, because this kit seems to have come with one. So we're gonna replace that piece. We're gonna replace this piece with this one. And it's on there really good. So give me a second, we'll go to the truck, get some stuff to try and get that piece off. But came off nice and smooth, right? And to make sure, right, just to make sure that we have all of the right sized pieces before we replace anything, I am just double checking. Yep, this is exactly the same size. And then this piece, this is exactly the same size. Nice. All right, so we're gonna put this piece back on, and how this works. All right, let me clean this up. I'm gonna need some shop towels, guys. A couple of the videos that I watched, everyone inspected in here for any fishing lines. I don't see any fishing lines, but they greased this back up. So I'm gonna grease this up with some marine grease. But yeah, this is clean, this looks good. And this is high performance marine grease. So it's specific for automotive and heavy duty applications. It says for marine applications including trailer, wheel bearings, trailer chassis, outboards, not recommended for centralized dispensing systems. All right, guys, got some gloves on. Let's grease this thing up. always very generous with grease for the shaft. Making sure everything gets nice and lathered. Okay. Okay, now that is all greased, I'm gonna clean up. Now I can move on to this piece. So again, this piece needs to be pointing with the lip, it needs to be pointing out towards me. Very nice. Perfect fit. Perfect fit. Okay, and then this piece, I'm gonna just make sure it's nice and flush. It's nice and flush. The lip goes in here, so technically I need the lip to be actually perfect. All right, so there's like a little bit of a groove in here, which is where the lip is gonna sit. Okay, so now I have this piece, which is a lock. So I'll put this on. This locking nut. Actually put this in first. That's how it sits. And then we get the new version of this locking nut, which sits just like that. And we get the new nut. Here's the thing, I don't want to scratch up the new prop, so I'm going to use a couple shop towels do the same thing for the top. I don't want my prop going anywhere, so pretty fucking tight. These things spin at very high RPMs, so yeah. Okay. And we are finished. Let's inspect our work. Okay. And that is how to change a prop. Whew. Nice.